Thursday's Daily Mail now. If you're young and black in San Francisco, you might be about to be gifted.
Sure, there's a lottery, I think. San Francisco residents lined up at the city board meeting last night to share their full-throated support of a wide-eyed reparations plan. Essentially, what they're offering here, Simon, or what they're asking for, really, is $5 million per black person in San Francisco.
Per authentic descendant of slavery, right?
Yes.
ADOS, yeah.
Yes, and plus $90,000 a year and homes for $1. Now, this, you know, I appreciate, and I'll throw this context around it. I'm a white guy talking about this. This doesn't apply to me. However, it poses so many questions for me. I mean, where do we begin? Where does it end? You know, who receives it? How much do they receive?
Well,
how far back do we go?
In the article, they did have a list of criteria, but it is utterly unworkable, obviously.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
And you know, it doesn't take into account how far back you should go, because at some point they could have been slave owners themselves. You know, the slave trade didn't start and end with African black people.
I suppose, I mean, we haven't got time to do justice to the arguments for and against reparations, but what this does strike me as just an example of absurd virtue, well, not virtue signalling, actually, it's pretend politics, isn't it? Because there is a board of people in San Francisco who have the remit of listening to these kind of petitions and making some sort of decisions. There's only one African-American on that board out of 11 people. That was a detail I spotted. Rather than perhaps, you know, make absurd, encourage absurd fantasies about San Francisco bankrupting the entire country by presenting $5 million, they could just have a little bit more representation on the board itself.
Really, you know what I mean?
And allow them to have some kind of impact on the city.
No. You're saying this is nothing. This is a something. This is a major deal. Maybe this won't go through, but this is actually how a tremendously large percentage of white people in America feel. They feel, and like that song, "We're going to give it back," the Australian song about the, you know.
And they didn't give it back.
But they will, and eventually they will. This is very, very scary.
You think they'll give back land to the Aboriginal people in Australia?
I don't know. I think eventually they will.
The hot middle stuff, maybe.
Eventually they will, and they're gonna do this here because I'd like reparation for having my bicycle stolen when I was 12 years old.
Well, to be fair, the Jews are probably the only people who actually have achieved something approaching reparations.
No, I don't think we have.
Israel, yeah.
But no, well, you want to know something? I'm waiting to be paid from my descendants building the pyramids. I'm waiting for the Egyptians to do it. Where's
my money? They don't make very much
money?
money now, the pyramids, sadly, and all the gold has been taken off the top. Lewis, the Times next.